Welcome everyone to today's LoveStream. I'm Vance Gardner and I'm your host for today's LoveStream. And we welcome you however you're joining us live or delayed. And to start, we start as always with prayer. So I'm asking you to join me in this affirmative prayer. So know with me now that there's one omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. That one is God. And we know that the manifest universe is the body of God. It is a logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowing of this one. So we know that this stream, this love stream this morning, is the unfolding of a perfect idea in the mind of this one. So we know that everyone who participates and everyone who is touched by this love stream is indeed truly blessed. And it is good and very, very good. And I just give thanks that all this is so, and so it is. And today's inspirational reading is from the Daily Word of Wednesday, May 20th. And it's titled, Free. Life is for living. Like a baby bird ready to fly from its nest, my soul desires to soar higher and higher. Created in the image and likeness of God, I was born to freely express who I truly am. If I feel frustrated along my life's journey, I turn to spirit and remember my true nature. I trust the deep spiritual current within to energize and power me through any challenges I may encounter. When I'm not making progress on a project or I feel stuck in some area of my life, I draw upon the power of spirit to free myself. I claim my power by affirming I am free and unlimited. I am powerful beyond measure. I'm empowered to break the mental chains that have been holding me back. I choose to soar free because I know that life is for living, and so it is. So today, I'm going to do the blessing of the youth of the word, and I'm going to light the candle. I light this candle on behalf of the youth of the world. Let us behold the Christ in them. We love you, we appreciate you, and we know that you truly are a blessing to the world. And so it is. And now we have a very special treat, our mission song, which was written by Maestro Noel Dexter as his last gift to the temple. And it's performed by a virtual group of singers who were put together by his practitioner Steve Golding. Our missions.
The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day.
And now for some announcements. Our office remains open 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday. You may drop off prayer requests, tithes, offerings, and set appointments for practitioner assistance. Funds may also be transferred to a savings account number 20941 at the Bank of Nova Scotia, New Kingston branch. And we also have a PayPal account with a donate button, which you may see on our LoveStream on Facebook Live and on YouTube also. We have been responding with prayer to the challenges facing everyone. You can listen to an inspiring prayer by calling our prayer line 876-978-1167. And if you wish to speak in person with one of our ministers, you can call them at 876-289-0907 from 8 a.m. to 12 midnight, Monday to Friday. You can also phone in prayer requests into our office at 876-927-6145 or 876-946-2230, or email us at templeoflight@cwjamaica.com. There are some regulations regathering. The Jamaican authorities have announced the relaxing of the protocols governing church services. We will not, however, be resuming gathering until we are able to comply with all the stipulated procedures and protocols. In the meantime, live streaming of all our services will continue on Facebook Live and YouTube. Next Sunday, being a fifth Sunday, is dedicated to our youth. Please join our live stream at 9 a.m. on Facebook Live. Our speaker will be Mr. Lawrence Suku, one of our youth mentors. Labor Day. Tomorrow, May 25th, marks Jamaica Labor Day, and Jamaicans all across the island will be observing the government's request that we labor at home. For Temple of Lighters, we have an interesting program with the team, The Healing Effects of Space, Spacing, Nature, and Environment. Information on this program is right here on Facebook, so please check it out and join us in consciousness. On Tuesday, our healing service will be a Zoom call, and I will be the facilitator on this Zoom call. You may also see it on Facebook Live, but please join us live on Zoom, and you will see the information on Facebook in terms of how to join into this Zoom call. And also, this Thursday, May 28th at 6 p.m., join us on Facebook Live for Lifeline, an hour of connectivity, liberty, love, and laughter. Our guest will be Reverend Eugene Holden, who, along with our pastor, Reverend John Scott, and moderator practitioner Sandra Cooper, will discuss the theme, At Home with Self. Log on with your questions and observation of how you have been experiencing this special time. And this morning, immediately following this celebration, join our pastor, Reverend John Scott, for discovery as he leads a conversation on what's on your mind, what's in your heart. And this concludes our announcement. And please now join me for a guided meditation. As people all over the world stay inside, we in the New Thought movement interpret this as a call for us to go within the secret place of the Most High. So I'm going to ask you to just relax and focus on your breath as we go within. And just let these words guide you into that secret place. Teach me to trust in thee alone, remembering that I am, that I know. How could I ever feel alone in the peace of God? Words sometimes fail you, but I know in the silence I will grow. How could I ever feel feel alone when I'm one with God. Teach me to trust in the alone, remembering the I am that I know. How could I ever feel alone in the peace of God? Words sometimes fail me, but I know in the silence I will grow. How could I ever feel alone when I'm one with God? So we just spend a few moments in that place of peace, peace of God. Yes, so as we slowly come back and just become aware of where you are, but within the same consciousness, we go into our first hymn, Teach Me, sung by Kester Bailey, accompanied by Maestro Lorenz.
Teach me to love and teach me to live and teach me to see and yield and forgive. Father, we need you at work and play. So teach me to follow you day by day. Teach me to know your voice and your will, and help me to climb my own special hill. You have the plan, so help me to see the plan you have for me, Lord. Teach me today, I pray. You have the plan, so help me to see the plan you have for me, Lord. Teach me today, I pray. Teach me to love and live and give today.
Thanks, Kester. That was truly beautiful. Teach me, as we just allow Spirit to guide us. And in this consciousness, it now gives me great pleasure to introduce our speaker this morning, practitioner Jennifer Livingston. Like me, she's a fellow Leo. And like me, she also went to Kingston College. So it's indeed a great tribute and pleasure to introduce practitioner Jennifer Livingston.
Good morning, friends. Let me add my own words of welcome to all of you, wherever you are in the world, tuned in to this LoveStream service here on Facebook Live or watching our delayed broadcast on YouTube. Welcome, and thanks, fans, for setting the stage for this morning's message. And incidentally, for those of you who don't know, Kingston College is an all-boys school, but yes, I attended, biggest ardent supporter of KC. It is a beautiful Sunday morning here at the Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living in Kingston, Jamaica. And it is truly a joy for me to be sharing with you again, having hosted our Tuesday evening service. So for those of you joining us once more, welcome back. We can all agree that the one thing in life that is certain is change. Now, more than ever, we are going through changes that we have never experienced before. Yes, and each day calls for us to respond in a new way. I'm sure you can attest to that. So today I would like to spend some time looking at how it is we respond. And so I have titled my talk this morning, Navigating Our Way Through Changes, No Matter What Life May Bring. I'll start by asking a few questions. So are you ready? Are you living with a sense of adventure or a sense of fear? Do you feel that each day is pretty much the same as the day before? Is there a sense of resignation, like, oh well, these are the cards that life has dealt us? Or do you live in anticipation of the possibility of learning, doing, or even becoming something new as a result of these changes that we're going through? And finally, do you realize that you are living in a state of grace, able to co-create your experiences by use of your birthright, your connection to the divine? Well, if you have answered these initial questions, we can now begin to look at how it is we will navigate our way through these changes. Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones, author and New Thought luminary, in his book entitled The Art of Uncertainty, How to Live in the Mystery of Life and Love It, poses the question, what if we could learn to be at peace with I don't know, and embrace the possibility that the future is full of mystery, excitement, and unlimited opportunity? What if? Would you be willing to explore this? Dr. Jones goes on to state that, and I quote, in order for us to move forward on this pathway and create new experiences, we cannot keep creating from within the field of what we already know. That is, if we use only the past as our reference point, then we will find that we are only creating new versions of the same old thing. He goes further and he states that while none of us knows for sure what the future holds, and certainly at this time we don't, we know that our consciousness is the filter through which the limitless potential of the universe flows. Therefore, what we create in the future is a direct result of what is set in our consciousness as possible today. End quote. My friends, this we know as the law of cause and effect, which Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder of this teaching, the Science of Mind and Spirit, states in our Science of Mind textbook, and I quote, it has been proven that by thinking correctly and by a conscious mental use of the law of mind, we can cause it to do definite things for us, through us. The very act of thinking about what you are thinking about is the first step. Get in touch with the thinking that inspires every part of your life. Your primary thought atmosphere, as Dr. Holmes tells us, and I quote, what we demonstrate today, tomorrow, and the next day is not as important as the tendency which our thought is taking, the dominant attitude of our mind. End quote. My friends, the laws of nature have neither sentiment, feeling, or emotion. So too, the law of mind, like the laws of nature, is always impersonal. It will respond to everyone. Arthur Joel Goldsmith, in his book, The Heart of Mysticism, implores us to acknowledge Christ in the midst of us, and then acknowledge Christ in the midst of all individuals, human, animal, vegetable, or mineral. He reminds us that the Christ presence is present in the weather, the stones of the ground, at the bottom of the sea, and in the very air we breathe. Therefore, we are never outside of the realm of its care, direction, protection, and love. Isn't this reassuring? My friends, it is necessary for us then to know the whys and hows of everything? No. For us to move forward in navigating our way through changes? I would say not. You see, oftentimes our need to know may be driven by fear and insecurity, right? And we may take the decision to never leave our comfort zone or settle in the nest of the known. But as Dr. Holmes also states in the Science of Mind textbook, nature will not let us stay in any one place for too long. She will let us stay just long enough to gather the experience necessary to the unfolding and advancement of the soul. Nature demands change in order that we may advance, end quote. We can all take lessons then from a nestling bird. When it is about to fly for the first time, it knows instinctively that it knows how to fly. Ever wondered about that? Well, infinite intelligence working as instinct directs the birds. And that is why the eagle literally kicks its young out of the nest for it to fly. At times, we ourselves may need that nudge. Yes, sometimes we do, and this pandemic could possibly be that nudge that we need. For us to move out with confidence, knowing that the same intelligence operating in, through, and as us knows how to support and sustain us through these changing times. Everything that we could want is often on the other side of our fears. We must take heart and move toward the things we fear, with courage while exercising good judgment. You know, in my own experience, I can recall a time when I was working for years in the pharmaceutical industry. And when the company I was with closed up in the operations in the region, for a whole year, I was without a job. And I couldn't find one back in the industry. And my friends, the only opportunity that opened up for me was in the diagnostic division of a pharmaceutical company. You know, and while I never sold diagnostic equipment before, I took on the challenge. And yes, I needed a job for sure. 1 year without, wouldn't you? But I was able to make the transition and did so successfully. My friends, no matter what changes you may be going through at this time, know that you can navigate your way through it. It was Maya Angelou who said, courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. You know, our pastor, Reverend John Scott, whenever he speaks from the podium, normally likes to give us an assignment. And so, in honor of Reverend Scott, I am giving the assignment this morning. So to help you boost your courage, here is an affirmation you can work with this week. Are you ready to take note of it? Daily affirm, today I choose courage and move beyond my fears. Let me repeat that. Today I choose courage and move beyond my fears. You see, for most of us, our tendency is to resist change and to remain with what is familiar because we're comfortable with it. But it is only that infinite intelligence, that energy we call life, that never changes. It is only the form in which it manifests itself that changes. As practitioners of truth and awakened individuals, we can also choose whether, as Dr. Jones in The Art of Uncertainty calls it, mindlessly react to our affairs or mindfully respond to our affairs. When we mindlessly react, we oftentimes act irrationally, allowing our minds to run away with our affairs. So if you're doing that at this time, please note, while if we had stopped to face them and mindfully think about how we could respond, then we might see that the things we fear, once we shed the light of truth on them, it loses its power to scare us. We are further reminded by Dr. Jones that it is important to realize that beneath all emotions, including fear, lies the authentic self. Did you realize that? Our God self, patiently awaiting our recognition of its presence. It is for us to find ways then to deepen our relationship with our authentic self. Our own founding minister, the late Dr. Elma Lumsden, in one of her classes, reinforced this point of being in touch with our authentic self when she gave us this definition of fear. And she said, fear is a signal that the thoughts you're thinking is of a lower vibration than who you are. Again, fear is a signal that the thoughts you are thinking is of a lower vibration than who you are. You see, in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verses 1 to 3, and I'm reading from the New International Version, and it states, "Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. For I am the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel." End of that scripture reading. But despite our knowing this intuitively, when we are faced with uncertainty, such as these times we are currently experiencing, and the "I don't know what to do and how to do it" of the different situations in our lives, and my Lord, I know we're going through that. Embracing change requires deep faith. Yes, it does. And what is this deep faith, and how do we know we have it? Well, we're all familiar with Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 1, right? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This faith, my friends, is an inner knowing that we are connected to Spirit, which is the all power, all presence, and all wisdom that knows what to do, when to do, and how to do it in our lives and affairs. Therefore, the thing to do as we face the unknown is to exercise our faith. You know, Dr. Holmes tells us in his book, Living the Science of Man, that we already have all the faith that we will ever need, and we need to believe that. When we embody this depth of faith, it brings a sense of comfort and inner peace to our world, and it helps us to surrender to and trust the process of change. You know, learning to trust this process in and of itself is a process. Since the unfolding of life is a progression, every moment is connected. This is why it is so important that we pay attention in these moments and we listen deep within ourselves to find our point of peace amidst the storms of life. One of the practices I shared on Tuesday to help us find this peace is to focus on our breathing. So I invite you to go back and listen to that talk if you haven't done so before. You will find that in the silence, you receive the information you need regarding the changes and the uncertainty you may currently be facing. Yes. You know, if we are not mindful, it is very easy to allow the drama in the moment to distort our view of our lives and our world. In fact, my friends, as we navigate through these changes, things may be challenging, but it is exactly these challenges that are currently offering us what Dr. Jones calls the growth opportunities. This will assist you in becoming who you will be in another 5, 10, or 20 years from now. So it is easy to feel overwhelmed by circumstances, but we must remember that we have the power to speak our word and the universe responds. We should turn to that living presence within us, which is the Father in heaven, recognize it as the one power and the only power in the universe, unify with it, and declare our words to be the presence, power, and activity of this one. It was Abraham Maslow who said, in every given moment, we have two options. Yes, to step forward into growth or to step back into safety. What one can be, one must be. So friends, if you are willing to face the unknown, no matter what life may bring, and trust that it is unfolding as it should, then if your answer is yes, here are a few ideas that you can put into practice. 1, trust divine mind. Yes, the presence of the divine is within you, expressing as you, and this presence loves you unconditionally. It created you that it might enjoy life by means of you. 2, decide on a new way. Yes, decide within yourself on a new idea you want to see come through in your life, or choose an idea. You know, there are so many opportunities in this pandemic right now that you can choose. 3, break free from limitation. Set no limits on what you can do, or be, or become. And 4, change your thinking. You see, you change your thinking one thought at a time. And be gentle with yourself. If you find your old habitual thinking keeps returning, practice, practice, practice. Can't emphasize that enough. Yes, this does take practice. It is simple, but not always easy. Being self-aware can be very challenging. So we have to keep working on ourselves. That's the only place we can work, as Dr. Elmer always reminds us. So my friends, in these times of uncertainty, with the economy, with our world leaders, with our job markets, in fact, where nothing is guaranteed, can we do anything differently? What do you think? Of course we can. You know, let's start by seeing these changes as a new beginning, an opportunity to intentionally create the life we want to live. Isn't that powerful? Let's change the filters through which we see the world. Refrain from judgment, blame, or guilt. You know, let's cease complaining. It is what it is, and we have to wear the mask, so let's cease complaining and start praising the things that are right with our world. Being grateful for all that we have, the friends and loved ones, in fact, anyone with whom we come into contact. As you navigate your way through the changes, no matter what life may bring, may you have joy in your life, love in your heart, and smiles in your world. God loves you, and so do I. Namaste.
Thank you, Jennifer, for that truly inspiring encouragement, which reminds us that in any given moment we have two options. We can go forward into growth, or we can stay in our comfort zone. And within this consciousness, we know that with God as our GPS, we are guided into perfect divine right action every time. And in this awareness, we will now have our musical item by Reverend Sonia Davidson, Give Me Wings.
I sing of you, I sing of our teaching, and I sing for you. I've been looking around, there's a whole new world I see, and so many things that I can do with your strength in me. I just want you to know, as I sing of brighter tears, that I need to have you very near. Come and guide the way. Give me the wings of an eagle. I will soar into the sky. Give me strength to hold a brother's hand as he's passing by. Give me the eyes of tomorrow. Let me see what I can find. If you lead me, I will follow now. Give me wings to fly. You've been watching me grow, and you gently lead me on. It's your love and power that I know, guides and keeps me strong. Now I ask you to hear, as I sing of brighter days, for I need to have you very near. Come and guide the way. Give me the wings of an eagle. I will soar into the sky. Give me strength
It is time for our peace song. Yes, there is peace on earth. Please join me in the prayer of Jamaica. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is now growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established. And so it is. So, thanks for joining us on our love stream this morning. And I want you to join me on Tuesday for a special spiritual enrichment service that will take place on Zoom. And on Thursday, May 28th, we'll have Lifeline, where we'll have our special guest, Reverend Eugene Olden, and our pastor, Reverend John Scott, and practitioner, Sandra Cooper. Don't miss it. So thanks again for joining us. And join us next week, Sunday, for our youth service. This was truly a wonderful experience. Be blessed.